All right. Whew. Man, I love this sweatshirt, especially now that it's winter. I really love this, and I'm never going to complain about buying this thing. Hello, my dear friends, I'm Cory. Welcome to the Cory monthly painting journey of October. Now we're in the middle of November. I know that I'm late, but I am always late, so what can you expect? But what is this Cory monthly painting journey? Well, it's a series of videos in which I show you all the things that I have painted the last month so that I can comment and just talk about our hobby and talk about miniatures and painting, and you know, it's a more chill kind of a video in which I don't even have a script for it, but it's just for fun. So let's just start with the video that you may have already seen it. If you don't, well, why don't you go check it out? It's a tutorial on how to paint fire dragons, and here they are. Fire dragons, what can I say? I love the color scheme of fire dragons, orange and yellow and stuff like this. The problem is these models are old. Oh my god, these models are freaking old. I mean, they are still in fine cast, and you can see, if you look closely, that some of them have their weapons bent in awkward ways, and you will have to heat them with an air dryer or with hot water so that the resin will, you know, be a little bit more soft and you can reshape weapons and bend parts of the model. And I, for the love of all the gods that exist and don't, cannot do this. I don't want to put too much effort into, you know, rebending and reshaping all of the weapon of these fucking models, because come on, it is already a nightmare to clean fine cast models, because fine cast models, they still, even if they have a more developed technology, let's just say, to cast fine cast model, they still come with miscasted part, with bubbles, with parts of these models that you don't really know which are to cut away, which have to be clean, and you don't know, because maybe you are just going to ruin some details of the model. And in fact, this is actually what happened with this model. Oh my god, I just, after cleaning them and gluing them on the base, I just wanted to just do the tutorials and paint them, because I cannot waste more, I didn't want to waste more time than I already did cleaning this model out of pieces and the sprues, etc. I really, you know, having an Eldar army, you will have at some point to buy and paint some aspect warriors, especially fire dragons, and you know, even like, man, warp spiders. I mean, these are all cool models, and yet you still have to go through goddamn fine cast. But fortunately, I'm seeing Games Workshop going through all of this kind of models and just remaking their kit. Now we are going to have striking scorpions in plastic. Finally, can't wait to have them. But yeah, next, I really don't want to paint any more fine cast model, at least for now. I still have to, I will wait for several months before actually doing that. I would rather clean and paint and work with Forge World resin. It's far much better. I don't know why people keep complaining about Forge World, maybe because it's a little bit expensive, and I can understand that, but Forge World models are not that bad. At least I didn't have any bad experience with those. But Finecast, every single time that I have to paint and work with Finecast model, has been a nightmare. And Fire Dragons are a proof, because I've just painted them and it was a nightmare. Let's move on with something more special and interesting. This Dwarf, this League of Votann cowl, which is a, you know, not your regular cowl. As you can see, first of all, you have a power shovel, which I 3D printed. I also 3D printed the Marines under his left foot, and his glorious beard. Now, this beard is sculpted in green stuff, and I didn't sculpt this beard, but my dear friend of mine, Arielika Miniatures, sculpted for me. I commissioned her the sculpting of this beard, and she did an amazing job. I really like how the beards turn out, because I really want my dwarf to have long beards. It's something that, technically speaking, dwarfs almost always have. In this case, I wanted one of my Leagues of Votann cowls. This is the third cowl that I paint, actually, to have, no, it's the fourth cowl. Oh wow. to actually have a glorious and amazing beard, and I think that Arielika Miniatures did a great job. I will leave the link of Arielika Miniatures Instagram down in the description if you want to check it out, but I really suggest you do, because she is an incredible talented artist and it's also a great friend of mine. So thank you, Arielika, and go check out her Instagram because she is amazing. And now, Space Marine. Now this is a Space Marine captain in Gravis armor? Is this Gravis armor? I don't know, and I don't care because it turns out to be a pretty nice and cool model, both to paint and to put together. Now, oh my god, she's a female head detected. Female head detected for Space Marine. I don't give a shit, alright? Female Space Marine, I don't understand why there's so much controversy around having female Space Marine. Who gives a shit? These are toy soldiers. Do whatever you want with them. Make female Space Marine canon. Who gives a crap, alright? And I want female Space Marine in my army, and this is proof. I like this model. The head and both the lance, halberd, are 3D printed with also a purity seal and a golden sword decoration that she have on the power backpack of the armor. Yeah, it's a Space Marine. I'm actually enjoying painting purple Space Marine now. This color scheme is pretty cool, and I actually like paint this color scheme to the point that I am actually painting a Primaris Dreadnought. So yeah, I decided also to paint something more bigger than a quote-unquote small Space Marine, and so I decided to paint a Dreadnought in this color scheme, and it's pretty fun, and it's turning out to be pretty good also. Well, you will see that because I'm actually filming a video on me just cleaning the entire hobby table because it's a mess. There are so many unfinished projects here that I couldn't do anything at all, and it started to be a problem for me, so I just, I'm doing a video about it, you will see in the future. Let's switch to this beautiful Gunpla that you see here. Now, this is a Gunpla that I managed to found in Japan back in 2000, 2018, 19. And this is a mecha that it's not from Gundam, it's from an anime called Aura Battler Dambine, which is robot in a fantasy setting in which robots resemble giant beetles and bugs. And I have to say, this is how I actually want Gunplas to be. Easy to put together, extremely big and bulky, and at the same time, this model doesn't fall apart. It's actually very easy to pose, and it's beautiful. It's just that maybe I'm a little bit biased because I really like simplicity and because I don't really like overcomplicated things. All right, I already complain about over sculpting and doing overcomplicated things in our hobby. Now this is something that is very simple. With details and how to build it, but at the same time it's incredibly cool to look at because it has so many features. He has wings, you can just pull out the sword and you can transform it, and there are so many accessories. You can open the chest and there is a pilot inside it you could paint if you want. I love this, and I really hope to find more Gunplas like this one. Even though this is a pretty old model, I think it has been manufactured in 1998 or 1996, before the 2000. That for sure. And I just love it. Oh, there is also this cool feature about this model that there are some rubber part of this model that I really love, that are incredibly beautiful, like the cables on his arms, and the wings are actually made out of some kind of a rubbery plastic, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I really love this Gunpla. And now, last two models, these two Breton Knights. Now, of course, you may notice that these are not actually Breton Knights. These are two models from a set of 7 models casted in metal from Reaper Miniatures, which is called the Heraldic Knights. And these are 2 out of 7 knights that I wanted to start and paint. Now, I already have a pretty nice and cool Bretonian army, but not in square bases. I have a Bretonian army that I have put together and painted for Age of Sigmar, way back when Age of Sigmar was just in the first or second edition, at the beginning of second edition, if I remember correctly, and I have an entire army of Breton Knights. And you know, now that the Old War is really, really close, I can't wait to play that game, by the way. I decided, alright, I will have to prepare, and I want to play with the Bretonians, of course, because I love knights and I love heraldry and etc. And I have to have an army ready for the day. Hopefully, I'm trying to do that. And well, I didn't really want to rebase my entire Bretonian army for Age of Sigmar, because I want to use them maybe in other games. Maybe they will come out with rules if the Old World really goes really well. Maybe they will try to make some rules for the Bretonians in Age of Sigmar. I don't know. I want to have them there with round and oval bases just in case. So I decided, alright, well, I will just have to paint an entire new Bretonian army, and I have a lot of things that I want to use for this new Bretonian army. Of course, we don't know the base size, except for foot soldiers, like, you know, the men-at-arms, and knight, because now knights are on a 25 by 25 millimeter square base. And so I decided to try and do that and repaint some Imperial Knights, some Bretonian Knights. And these are my first two attempts after I improve my painting skill. And I have to say that painting Knights is always a extremely fun project. I mean, I love Bretonian Knights specifically, because even though they are generic Arthurian kind of, you know, knight, you can really go crazy with the heraldry and paint a lot of different color combination. You can have it, you can have your knight painted in one color, or two or three or four. You can just go crazy with freehanding and do some very crazy things on them. You can come out with your heraldry, you can do whatever you want, and it's just so stimulating, I would say. Hopefully that doesn't come out as a very sexual way to say that I love painting heraldry, but that's the truth. I love this, the concept of having an entire Bretonian knight army, a Bretonian army with every single knight with his own personal heraldry. Now, this is something that is going to be a nightmare, because I have to paint every single knight in a different way. But this is, in my humble and personal opinion, how a Bretonian army should look like. I know that in the Old War we have seen a Bretonian army with all of the knights, both on foot and on horses, have the same heraldry spread to the entire army. But to me, that, as cool as it looks, doesn't really appeal me, alright? I want to have like an explosion of color with my Bretonian Knights army, and these are the first two knights. I'm also painting a damsel, and I'm going to paint all the other knights here, and now I will start to paint my army after I finish cleaning my hobby table. Just I want to be ready. I want to be prepared for the Old War when it come out the next year. I can't wait for it, really. Alright, my friends, these are all the models that I've painted and built during this month. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments if you want. Also, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos in the future, and go down in the description, because beside being my dear friends Arelica Miniatures Instagram, there is also my Instagram, and a way to support me if you want. You don't have to, but if you would, I would be extremely grateful. Alright, hope that my English was understandable, because without a script, this video is really, I'm really anxious about how my English sound, and most often than not, I'm just afraid that I'm not saying anything that it's actually understandable. But anyway, hope to see you the next time. I'm Cory. Ciao, ciao.